Please, if this is your first time watching our stories, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more emotional and powerful stories. And don't forget to tell us where you're watching from. Thank you. In a faraway African village where the sun rose gently over brown rooftops and dusty roads, there lived a king. But not just any king. He was known across the land for being heartless and cruel. His name? No one dared to say it without trembling. He ruled with an iron hand, and his people lived in fear, not in love. His only son, Crown Prince Frederick, was even worse. Arrogant and proud, Frederick moved around the village with heavy guards, acting like a god. If you didn't greet him when he passed, he would punish you, sometimes beating, sometimes locking you away, so the villagers hated him, but they couldn't say it out loud. Now, the king had 5 fierce warriors guarding his palace, but the strongest of them all was Lancelot. Tall, powerful, and fearless, Lancelot was the village's secret pride. Women adored him. After all, who doesn't love a brave man? But one woman stood out. Her name was Sharon. She wasn't just beautiful, she had a heart of gold. And Lancelot? He loved her deeply. They planned to get married soon, but this love didn't go unnoticed. Prince Frederick, the attention seeker, couldn't stand that the village admired someone else, and it burned him even more that Sharon belonged to Lancelot. Frederick had already broken many marriages, taking wives from men just because he could. But strangely, his eyes had never landed on Sharon, until now. One day, the king called a secret meeting with his warriors. His face looked worried. "The gods are angry," he said. "The chief priest told me this morning. Someone has touched the elkris tree, and now it's dying. If all its leaves fall, darkness will cover our land forever." Lancelot stepped forward, bold and ready. "Where can we find this tree, my king?" "I will summon the chief priest tomorrow. He will tell you all you need to know." That day, as Lancelot walked home, he saw Sharon. Her hair blew softly in the wind, her eyes still warm with love. She smiled. "Where are you going, my love?" he asked. "To buy herbs. My father is sick with a terrible cough." "Let me come with you," he insisted, and off they went together. But just as they walked along the path, a black car pulled up. It was the prince. He reversed and rolled down his window. "Hello, beautiful," Frederick said, pretending not to see Lancelot. "I've never seen such beauty. Are you from this village?" Sharon kept quiet. "Come in, let me give you a ride." "No," she said, "I'm with my husband-to-be." Frederick's smile dropped. "So you dare reject the prince of this kingdom? You insult the next king?" Lancelot tried to speak. "My prince, with respect, she's my—" "Shut up!" Frederick snapped. "Speak again, and I will banish you from this village." Afraid, Sharon quietly entered the car. Lancelot watched as the woman he loved was taken away by a man who had no heart. His chest burned, but he couldn't fight royalty. In the car, Frederick bragged, "Why would a woman like you follow a poor warrior? I can give you gold, clothes, anything you want." He touched her thigh gently. "So smooth, you will be my wife, Sharon." Sharon froze. Fear gripped her. She gave him her number. She had no choice. She didn't want to put her family in danger. The next day, the chief priest arrived with sacred beads and palm leaves. "Tie this on your wrist," he said to the warriors. "It will hide your spirit and scent from the demons in the forest. Never urinate on the soil, only in flowing streams." He then gave them secret names to protect them spiritually. Lancelot's name was Agni Kia. Others were called Owl, Vulture, Serpent, and Arrow. The chief priest opened a large mirror. "Step in, this will take you to the red soil, the forest where Elkris lives. Bring back 5 seeds. Do not break the commandments or death will follow you." They stepped through the mirror and vanished. Back in the village, Frederick used the chance to keep visiting Sharon. Her parents welcomed him like royalty, offering food and praise. One day, Sharon's mother whispered, "Don't you see, the prince loves you." Sharon frowned. "Mummy, I already have someone. Lancelot is my heart." Her mother pressed on. "But this is a blessing. If you marry him, we'll never suffer again." Sharon stormed out, heartbroken that her own mother would betray her love. Meanwhile, in the deep red forest, strange voices echoed through the trees. Birds screamed, spirits whispered, but finally they found the sacred tree. Elkris. It stood tall, glowing faintly. But something strange happened. Only Lancelot could touch it. The tree whispered, "You are the next king, by blood." "What? How?" The tree spoke. "Your mother Clara was the king's first wife. She died giving birth to you. But that night, a terrible thing happened. Another couple lost their child at birth, and the babies were swapped in the hospital. The king never knew. He thought his child died, and your mother was cursed. She was banished. Lancelot froze. How can I prove this? Look at your arm, the spirit said. You bear the black royal symbol. You are the true heir to the throne, not Frederick. Lancelot didn't want the throne. He only wanted peace. But the spirit added, without you, none of your warriors would have returned alive. You are stronger than the chief priest. Accept who you are. A month passed. The village was silent. No word from the warriors. Even the chief priest could not connect to their spirits. He returned to the king and said, I fear they may be lost forever. The news spread like wildfire. Sharon broke down. She didn't eat for days. She cried every night. But Frederick was always there, bringing gifts, buying her jewelry and dresses. Slowly he wore her down. She gave in. She began to live like a princess. 2 months later she was pregnant. But the day of judgment came. The warriors returned, tired, dirty, but alive. They brought only one seed, the others had failed. But Lancelot was no longer a mere man. He had become something greater, being touched, but an immortal. The sky over the village was quiet, too quiet. It had been weeks since the 5 fierce warriors entered the red soil through the chief priest's mirror. Many had given up hope. Some said they were dead. Others believed they were trapped in the forest of no return. Then, one early morning, just as the birds began to sing again, the village gates opened. People screamed and ran to see what was happening. The warriors had returned, but they looked different. 4 of them limped with bruises and torn clothes, their bodies weak and faces pale. But the 5th, Lancelot, didn't look human anymore. He walked slowly behind them, glowing faintly like someone kissed by the gods. No injuries, no scars, no weakness. The village women dropped their baskets, children stopped playing, even the elders stood up from their mats. Was this the same Lancelot or a spirit? They didn't know. But one thing was certain, power now followed him like a shadow. When they arrived at the palace, the king was already waiting. He looked tired, confused, but Prince Frederick stood behind the throne, clenching his fists in jealousy. The warriors bowed and placed the glowing Elchris seed at the king's feet. The chief priest stepped forward and said, "Only one seed, but it is pure and enough to restore the Elchris." The king nodded slowly, but his eyes kept going back to Lancelot. He felt something familiar about him, something deep. Then Lancelot stepped forward and said, "The Elchris showed me a truth that shakes the throne." He slowly rolled up his sleeve and revealed the black symbol of the royal bloodline on his arm. The chief priest gasped. The king's eyes widened. Even the guards looked at each other, unsure of what to do. Prince Frederick stepped forward. "That mark is a lie," he shouted. "It means nothing." The chief priest raised his hand. "No, my prince. That is the sacred royal symbol, passed down only through the blood of the true heir. I've only seen it in scrolls, but it's real." The king stood up, speechless. Lancelot looked into his eyes. "My king, the Elchris showed me everything. My mother, Clara, she was your wife, the one you banished after giving birth to me. She was never cursed. She was lied to." The king took a step back. His lips trembled. Prince Frederick stepped in between them. "No, he's trying to steal my future. Father, don't listen to him." But the people had already started whispering outside the palace walls. Could Lancelot be the real prince? Was the throne given to the wrong person? Frederick couldn't take it. Rage filled his heart like fire. That night, Frederick met with 3 of his personal guards in secret. "I want Lancelot gone," he whispered, silently. "If he lives, I lose everything." "But he's protected," one guard replied. "Even the chief priest said the gods are with him." Frederick slammed the table. "Then kill the people he loves. Hurt him where it will break him. Start with the girl, Sharon." Meanwhile, at Sharon's house, she sat quietly, brushing her hair, but her heart wasn't calm. For weeks, she cried for Lancelot. Then she gave in to Prince Frederick. Now she was 2 months pregnant with a child she never planned for. Suddenly, her younger brother rushed in. "Sister, Lancelot is back! He's alive!" Her hands dropped the brush. Her breath froze. "What? Yes, the whole village is talking about it. They say he returned with power. People are calling him the true prince." She stood up slowly, her heart pounding. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Oh my God, he came back, and I betrayed him." Her mother walked in and heard everything. Sharon looked at her. "Mummy, are you happy now? You said I should accept the prince. Look what I've done. Lancelot is back, and I'm pregnant for his enemy." Her mother bowed her head in shame, but just then the door slammed open. Prince Frederick entered with 2 guards. Well, he said, walking in like he owned the house. "It seems the real father of this village is back." He looked at Sharon and her mother. "I hope you're not planning to run back to that fake warrior, because if you do, I will make this pregnancy the last thing you ever carry." Sharon stepped back, shaking. Her mother dropped to her knees. "Please, my prince, leave us alone." Frederick leaned close to Sharon's face. "He may have a mark, but I have the throne, and if anyone stands in my way, they'll regret it." Then he walked out. Later that night, Lancelot stood alone by the old temple tree. He looked up to the stars and whispered, "I didn't ask for any of this." Then a voice replied from the wind, "But it is yours, my son." Lancelot turned. It was the chief priest. He bowed his head respectfully. "You were chosen not just to protect the land, but to rule it," the priest said. "But the battle ahead will not be with swords. It will be with truth, with courage, and with the heart." Lancelot sighed. "Frederick won't give up easily. And Sharon," the priest interrupted, "her path is crossed. But don't forget, even a broken heart can still beat for love." Just then, a warrior ran toward them. "My lord! Trouble! Sharon's house was attacked!" Lancelot's heart skipped. "Where is she?" "She escaped, but her father was wounded. The prince is looking for her." Lancelot's eyes burned with fire. "Enough! He has touched what is mine." He turned to the priest. "The time has come. If Frederick wants war, I will give him something no prince has ever faced before." The wind grew stronger, and somewhere deep within Lancelot, a flame began to rise, not just of anger, but of destiny. To be continued. Will Lancelot fight for his rightful throne? Will Frederick's secrets be exposed? And what will Sharon do when both men face each other? Don't miss episode 3, subscribe, turn on the bell, and tell us where you're watching from. Thank you.